Haters have a lot to say about Brendan Fraser's appearance.
He's huge now.
Brendan went a bit too hard on the burgers.
Holy shit, did he age badly?
But these people have no idea that Fraser has been through hell and back. Back in the prime of his career, Brendan used to be on many a movie poster. Think Encino Man, George of the Jungle, Bedazzled, and many other films. Fans loved Fraser for bringing to life those kind and brave yet slightly naive characters. In many films, especially in the very beginning of his career, Fraser played himbos. And he always looked great in those roles. His fans absolutely loved it when he strutted on set with his shirt off. But did he love doing it?
I look at myself then and I just see a walking steak.
Well, that's one way to put it. Anyway, and then without any warning, he disappeared from the spotlight altogether. Yet it turns out his rapidly deteriorating health was partly to blame. Throughout his run as a comedy and action hero, Brendan always performed his own stunts. While filming George of the Jungle, he was once hoisted 60 feet in the air by a crane. Only a thin nylon cable protected him from falling. The tricks Fraser had to perform in the film cost him a broken bone. And there was only the first in a host of on-set traumas to come. Making The Mummy, Brendan faced challenges that would terrify anyone. Once, the crew was trapped in a sandstorm that hurled their camera equipment all over the place. And every day they were surrounded by scorpions and poisonous snakes. But even worse, Fraser nearly died right on the set.
I almost gave my life at one point during a hanging sequence. I was on a platform with a rope around my neck and
the rope became too tight and the actor started choking. Then Brendan passed out and even required medical help. All the actor remembers is waking up to the emergency crew repeatedly saying his name. He realized then that the incident was technically his fault because he was trying to make the scene as believable as possible. But he was only following the director's cue. Fraser always did his best on the set and worked himself up into a sweat. Here's how he once commented on his attitude.
I felt like the horse from Animal Farm, whose job it was to work and work and work.
But at first, he didn't really think that it was a bad thing. In spite of the dangers, Brendan never complained about his on-set incidents. Being a hard-working person, he even turned them into jokes.
you've just joined the club with Mel Gibson. He got choked out on Braveheart, too.
Eventually, though, all those stunts took a serious toll on Brendan's health. The actor once shared that he realized that something was really wrong when he did the third Mummy film in China. He had to be put together with tape and ice, as if he was building an exoskeleton for himself every single day. But still, he kept going.
I believe I probably was trying too hard, in a way that's destructive.
He had to undergo spinal surgery, a partial knee replacement, a vocal cords repair. Fraser was in and out of hospitals for a whole 7 years. During this time, the actor could no longer take on any tough guy roles like he used to. And gradually, Fraser lost the muscle tone he'd flaunted in his early films. Yet he didn't feel too bad about losing shape. After all, Brendan always wanted to show the world that he was more than just pecs and abs. But a lot of people still saw him as nothing but a himbo. In 2003, Fraser had a terrifying encounter that proved it. The incident involved Philip Burke, a former president of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association.
His left hand reaches around, grabs my ass cheek, and one of his fingers touches me in the taint.
Brendan was filled with fear and panic. He felt just like a little boy and wanted to cry.
Something that took him almost 15 years to talk about.
In 2018, the Me Too movement inspired Fraser to finally open up about the truth. But when the actor shared the experience, hoping to punish his offender, it was treated as a joke.
Burke saying Mr. Fraser's version is a total fabrication.
And the executive also said that he only pinched the actor and did it in jest. But it was no joke for Brendan. With no closure or support, the memory of this incident haunted the actor. Brendan sunk deeper and deeper into depression.
I was blaming myself, and I was miserable.
Fraser assumed that it became one of the reasons why Hollywood dropped him. All of a sudden, he began feeling reclusive. Shortly afterwards, the actor noticed that things were getting worse and worse. His body was deteriorating, his marriage falling apart, and new roles stopped coming his way. At one point, he could no longer afford to pay child support to his ex-wife. Soon, he disappeared from the spotlight altogether, leaving his fans to question what happened to their favorite actor. In 2016, Fraser gave his first interview in years. And that's when fans started to really worry about him. He looked completely dispirited and spoke in a near whisper.
The cast have done remarkable work to build a compelling story.
The interview sparked theories about the actor being seriously ill. But as Brendan later revealed, he had good reason to be sad. His mother had just passed away of cancer, and he was still getting over the loss.
I do know that we all certainly have stories, no matter what walk of life we find ourselves in.
Besides, since he hadn't done any interviews for years, he felt like George of the Jungle, a man who just emerged confused into a new world. Brendan had no idea how to function in the modern version of Hollywood. He needed more time to adjust.
Something good came out of something that was bad. Sometimes it takes a while for that to happen.
The actor knows that all the experiences he's had in his life, however upsetting or tough they have been, made him who he is today. As a result of it all, Brendan became a different person. Better, stronger, and more resilient than ever. And now, after a long break, Brendan is ready to go on.
A lot can happen, and it's important to unburden yourself of the things you just don't need anymore.
He has 2 major upcoming projects. In Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon, Fraser stars alongside Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro. And he also plays a man with severe obesity in Darren Aronofsky's The Whale. Participating in this film was a very unusual experience for Brendan.
This is certainly far removed from anything I've ever done, but not to be coy, I haven't seen any of it yet, but I do know it's going to make a lasting impression.
What's more, Brendan gained all that weight for this role. So no, he didn't let himself go. He was just preparing for the film. His fans now understand it and still love Brendan.
The internet is so behind you. We're so supportive. There are so many people out there who love you, and we're rooting for you, and we can't wait to see what you do next.
Shucks, ma'am.
This support means so much to the actor. He's had a hard life that could easily have broken him, but he never gave up. And now he's ready for his comeback. Because everyone deserves a second chance. If you want to know more about the actors who have disappeared from the spotlight, watch this video about Christina Ricci. And stay awesome!